All right, I am live. Welcome to my channel, Invite Possibilities. My name is Rochelle, and I am here to do a reading for Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or anywhere else that you might have Earth in your chart. Or even if you don't have any major placements, this could still be for you. It's my intention that there is something here for everyone. And my readings are timeless. So whenever you catch this, it's the right time for you. And we've got our lovely kitties back here. Charlie is the black one. Kitty is the tabby. And they are just so sweet. They are sisters. You'd never guess by looking at them. But yeah, that's the interesting thing about cats. Fun fact that kittens can come from multiple fathers, all in the same batch, or they're not a batch. It's a it's a what? Something of cats. Anyway, you get the point. So I've chosen 3 cards. Oh, there goes Charlie. I've chosen 3 cards from Wisdom of the Oracle, and I'll be clarifying with some other decks. And I have also let the universe choose a song, and the title of your song is Starlight. And it just makes me think of, like, I don't know, the term makes me feel like there's some kind of magic. Like when you think of starlight, you think of the stars, all the stars in the universe, billions and billions of stars, as Carl Sagan would say. um, it's kind of, it's humbling because there is so much out there that we are totally unaware of, but there's so much potential. There's infinite potential out in the universe. Apparently there's a multiverse out there. It's not just the one universe. But we'll say universe just for simplicity's sake. But it's just this idea that we come from the stars. We are, everything that we are is the same. Or better to say, there are elements within us. We are created of the same stuff as everything around us. It's all energy, ultimately. And yeah, so that kind of leads right into the reading, which is we get message in a bottle, which is all about messages from your higher power. And I feel like this idea of starlight, of being connected to the stars, that everything is energy, that there's some kind of force, there's some kind of bigger hand in everything. It's not random, I feel. And that there's some kind of intelligence, there's some kind of consciousness that plays a role in our life that's just beyond the 3D reality. There's magic. And with that understanding, this is being open to knowing that your higher power, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to subscribe to, is sending messages to help guide you, to help lead you where you're supposed to go. And yes, we're not always able to follow the guidance right away, but eventually we're led to the lessons, to the people, to the experiences that ultimately help us to grow, to help us to become more of who we're meant to be. If you think about where you were when you were a kid versus where you are now, pretty big transformation there, not just physically. So this is about being open to those messages, learning the language of the universe, being versed in the signs and the symbols and the things that come across your path, and knowing that you're being sent those those messages, you can actually set intentions to the universe, to your higher power, to have specific things, specific messages sent your way that really mean something to you. Like telling universe, I need an answer. Show me a white butterfly. What you can make up anything you want. The more random, the better. Because when you do get the message, it's like, whoa, okay, yeah, message received. And this card can also speak to getting some kind of message from a person. The people who show up in our life, they are also connected to this higher power. We are all the same. It's all, I use this analogy sometimes. It's like a hand. Higher power, source, whatever is the palm, and then we each are fingers. And so we are connected to one another through the source. And it's all part of the same. It's all, all the same stuff. So anyway, this could be someone coming into your life who's going to send you some kind of message. And it's someone who is going to be, or some situation that's ultimately, this card does talk about that there's some kind of something that you're doing that's going to affect others. There's a ripple effect, and it's going to affect everybody in a positive way. This is, like increasing good fortune and ultimate awesomeness for everyone involved, which is, yay. That's really good. And if you haven't, this could speak to somebody in particular that you don't know yet, or someone that's coming in soon, but that together you're going to potentially create some kind of legacy. That's really what serendipity is about. It's everything lining up so perfectly. And I mentioned magic at the beginning. And this understanding that there are cycles, there's connection, it's all energy. And that's why reading the cards even works at all, because it's all about intention. It's all about tapping into the energy. So then we get clean it up in the protection position, which really speaks to you potentially trying to fix someone else, to clean up someone else's mess. That maybe this is kind of something that, how do I say it? It's like we see someone outside of ourselves. Typically, it's very easy to see, when we're in our own stuff, it's not so easy. But when we see other people and we're like, well, if you just do A, B, and C, then you'll be fine. Everything will be good. But you can't do it for them. They have to learn the lesson themselves. And sometimes, no matter how much you try to help a person, it's not going to happen until it's time for it to happen, until they get it, until something clicks within them. And so it's really important to stay in your own lane, stay in that place of cleaning up your own stuff, trying to become aware of anything within you that you're missing. And typically, people around us are reflections of ourselves. So if we see someone and we're like, well, I see you doing A, B, and C, and you really need to fix that. Well, where in your life are you doing A, B, and C? Remember, it's that idea of the one finger pointed out and the three fingers pointed back. So try to remember to let people have their own experience, as difficult as that can be, especially when you're dealing with somebody that you really care about. And you're like, I see you, like, ruining your life, or whatever you're feeling. And it's like it's needing, sometimes you need to step back and love from a distance and be like, okay, I wish you well on this journey. I'm here if you need some assistance, but I'm not, it's needing to set healthy boundaries and not let somebody pull on your resources. Because typically when you show up and try and help someone and they don't really want the help, then but they like the attention, then they might just suck your energy and then you're left depleted. So remember to just kind of put that energy back on yourself. We'll figure out where you want to clean it up within yourself, within your own life. Okay. So let's get into the good tarot and see what clarifying messages we get. Chariot. I mean, this is a beautiful card because it speaks of victory. It speaks of, finding the balance. We have the white and the black horse, and bringing those two parts together and moving forward swiftly towards victory. And the Queen of Air, setting healthy boundaries. That's right. Just like I said, tapping in to your intuition, which is your direct line to your wisdom, which, ultimately your higher power feeds you everything you need to know through your intuition. That's your wisdom is your connection to your higher power. And I started using this analogy. Think of it like your intuition is a radio, and it's about turning the knob so you tune in to the messages that the universe, that your higher power is trying to send you. And also, this is about being really clear with your communication. That's a part of setting the healthy boundaries, is saying, okay, this is where I stand. I'm not fighting against anyone. I'm just holding the space for myself, for what I know is right for me. And yes, not trying to clean up someone else's mess, ultimately. And the Tower. That's right. The Tower comes when we don't listen to the messages. When we're trying to, go into someone else's lane and clean up the mess that's not ours, very often the Tower happens because we do become depleted. We do end up in sticky situations where we're like, oh, this isn't even my issue. Why am I caught up in this? Personally, I have found myself in this kind of situation way too many times in my life because, yes, I have a desire to help. I see someone in need and I'm like, here I come to the rescue, and it's not my issue. It's not my problem. And inevitably I come to that place where some kind of something happens, some kind of huge shakeup, some kind of thing where I'm like, oh my God, okay, and it was good learning, very humbling. And it's brought me to a place in my life where I'm like, yeah, I want to help. Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna step back. let this play out. Good luck. And there could be some kind of shakeup in your life, some kind of, when we start setting healthy boundaries with people who expect us to show up in a certain way, with maybe not so many boundaries, and suddenly we're doing that and they're like, I don't like that. What are you doing? This isn't the earth sign that I know that can cause, this kind of tower moment in the relationship where suddenly someone's freaking out because you're like, okay, hands off. I'm not going to get involved. And they're used to you doing that. That can be, yeah, that can be tough for some people. But remember that there's victory in this situation, that you are going to ride through finding your own balance. You're going to ride to this place of amazing connection, magic. This card speaks to me so much of magic because everything just lines up so perfectly. The right person shows up at exactly the right time, and yeah, all that good stuff. All right, so let's look at the Oracle Tarot. Justice, making the honorable choices, finding that, creating, not just finding, you're creating the balance in your life, within yourself. Making the honorable choices to put yourself first, to set those healthy boundaries. Yeah. And Ace of Wands, follow your dreams. Yeah, because when you get in your own lane, then suddenly you're the center of your attention. And then you can have a passionate new beginning. It allows you to tap into your intuition, to be clear on yourself, the messages the universe is sending you in order to move forward. And because you have this passion, this excitement for something new, it's what you dream about, what you really want, it leads to beautiful, magical victory. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. And I could leave the reading right there, but I'm not going to. Steady process. That's right. Because you may be used to showing up a certain way. And maybe other people are having trouble, potentially having trouble with you learning to stand in your own power, to show up in a different way. But also, this is you getting used to that yourself, that it is a process, that it requires effort, consistent baby steps, that you can't just be like, okay, I'm going to follow my dreams and then be done. Like everything we do in life, we have to continue to be open to the messages that come in and know that it's never done. We're never done. Even when you get to this place of amazing, magical, everything lining up, there's still more. There's always more. All right. Wisdom of Avalon. Let's see what Wisdom of Avalon has to say. The frog. Yep. Cleaning house. And what is it? Releasing emotional baggage. Yeah, it's time to release all that stuff where you felt like you needed to carry other people's burdens, that it left you feeling depleted, potentially, that it left you in situations, as I mentioned, that I've experienced, where you're like, oh God, there's major fallout here. And now I'm stuck in this. I'm involved. And I didn't need to get involved in the first place. Drama. Who wants drama? I know some people do. They purposefully look for it. But I think in this case, you really don't. And this reading is telling you it's time to let go of the drama. Let go of other people's drama. We have plenty of our own in our own lives, don't we? And the High Priestess. Yes, this is all about getting in touch with your intuition, with your connection to your higher power, getting those visions. in whatever form that the universe is sending, through your intuition, through your desires, through your dreams. Just the fact that you want something, that comes from your higher power, because you want things for a reason, because it's meant to teach you something. It's meant to guide you in a certain direction. So this is you just tapping in. Yeah, discernment, prescience, prophecy, vision, tapping into the magic. That's going to lead you where you want to go. That's going to bring you your justice. And the cow, nourishment, abundance, asking, and receiving. Yes, I think this really very much has to do with, rather than you going in trying to be the hero in other people's lives, to start asking other people to show up for you. Hey, I could really use your assistance. And then graciously receiving that, allowing other people to nourish you. And ultimately, this card does speak of abundance. That you shifting back into your own lane, setting those healthy boundaries, being open to the messages, brings in the abundance that is rightfully yours. That will, not only will it fulfill you, will it, trying to think of a good adjective here. I mean, ultimately it's she's being lifted by the clover. It's going to boost you. But again, it's that ripple effect. It's going to help other people as well. Okay, let's look at Osho Zen. What does Osho Zen have to say? Sharing your light, sharing your gifts. This is very different. This is a very different quality than showing up and trying to be a hero for someone, than trying to save the day. This is you standing in your power and being like, and we have two queens here, I have a lot to give. I would love to share my abundance with you, but only if you come in and you reciprocate. There always needs to be an energy exchange, and you may be coming out of a situation where it was very lopsided, and making those honorable choices. It's about putting yourself first and discerning who's worth your resources, who's worth your time, your effort, your light. Because you have so much to give. Ooh, yes, we've got nothingness. This is infinite possibility. This is the place where everything is born from. Desires that lead to ultimate fulfillment, that lead to the magical alignments of everything. This is the place where you connect with your higher power. This is that darkness of your intuition. It's like a deep, never-ending well or pool or something, and it's just open to receiving any messages that are meant to come in. And letting go. That's right. Letting go of your need to control. We earth signs, we like to be in control, don't we? And this is just like, yep, getting back in your own lane. And, very much even trying to control your own life. I mean, yes, there are certain things that we can take care of and handle, but at a certain point, we have to give give ourselves over to our higher power. Let that magical hand come in, let ourselves be lifted by the good fortune through the messages that we receive. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go with the Spirit Animal Oracle. Koi fish, spirit, there is always enough. Yes, there is. There's not a pie. One reader I follow talks about the pie. This idea that I have a pie. If you take some of my pie, now I have less. There's no pie. There's enough for everyone. The only thing keeping us from what we want, from our abundance, is ourselves, because it's like putting up the umbrella, that energetic umbrella that keeps all the good coming in through our fear, through our need to control, which everything starts with fear. All goes back to fear in one form or another. And this is when you let go, when you tap into your higher power, when you start to become generous and share, and also set those healthy boundaries, put yourself first, you start to see, oh, yes, there is always enough. Always, always, always. And lizard spirit, dream the world into being. Follow your dreams. What lights you up? What is guiding you forward? What feels so good thinking about it? And you're just like, you could think about it for hours. You just, it's that thing you want to do where, of course, the little voice in your head comes in and says, who are you to want that? Or you're not this, you're not that, you're not old enough, you're not young enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, all that stuff. When you get beyond all those voices and you come down to that dream, if there were no limits, it's that thing where you're just like, I could do that for the rest of my life. Or, until you decide you have another dream. Dream it into being. Imagine, act as if you already have it. Spend time thinking about it, getting really clear on what you want. A lot of us have trouble even knowing what we want sometimes because we're so used to other people dictating what we should want. Sometimes it feels so out there. Like, well, yeah, I'm kind of into this thing, but everyone else says that's crazy, so it must be crazy. If you're feeling it, if you're really excited about it, if it's something that is going to benefit you and or others, it's right. Seahorse spirit. And I shouldn't say or. I shouldn't say and or others. If it's going to benefit you first and foremost and also others. Because of course you don't want to follow a dream where you're like, I really love hurting people. No. That's coming from a place of pain and fear. This is the real true dream, is something that lights you up and also brings some kind of positive outcome to others around you, just as a natural byproduct because of the ripple effect. Seahorse spirit, watch and wait. Watch and wait. Do all the things. It's a steady process. Take those consistent baby steps. Listen to the messages. Become versed in the language of the universe. Create a new language with the universe. When I see a bumblebee, it means this. However you want to do it, it's up to you, because you are the center of your own universe and it's all in your hands. So, all right, we're going to call that good. That's a very, very good reading. I like it. I wish you well. on this journey of balance and learning to let go and focus on yourself, because you're awesome and you deserve it. You deserve your attention more than anybody else in the world. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day and tomorrow, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe and share.